President Trump hasn't even been in office a full year yet, but that hasn't stopped the deep state from waging an all-out war against him, even meeting with ISIS and al-Qaeda leaders to take him down.
Yeah, it's a pretty big revelation in this new book, All Out War, The Plot to Destroy Trump. Author Ed Klein lays out the plan to take down the 45th president, and he joins us now to discuss. Thank you, sir, for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And let me first bring up just a quote from your book here, which is a pretty serious allegation here in this book. It says, ties between three key leaders of the Oakland group, which this is a far leftist group in Oakland, met in Hamburg, Germany, with a leader of the al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula and al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. There is evidence from informants that the AQAP, Arab Peninsula leader, is helping the Oakland group acquire the weapons they are seeking, primarily bomb-making equipment and toxic chemicals and gases. So you've got people in the United States in a far-left group meeting with ISIS leaders?
Yes. You remember when President Trump was so severely criticized after Charlottesville for saying that the danger on left-wing violent groups equal the danger on the right? Well, it turns out he was right, because there is an FBI report that I've published in this new book that talks about these groups, these left-wing groups, get combat training on a par nearly the same as ISIS, and that there is a collusion between these groups and ISIS and al-Qaeda. And the reason they know this is that the FBI sent a whole contingent of agents to Europe in this summer, and they discovered that groups from Oakland, California, and other places in America traveled to Europe, met in Syria with al-Qaeda and ISIS, and got training in bomb making and toxic chemicals.
So here's the question. If they're going to go to such great lengths to take down President Trump, the American people are going to feel some of this. Should we be afraid of this, of what you're telling us right now?
I think so. And this is exactly what President Trump has been trying to say, that, yes, there is problems on the right with white supremacists. We know that. None of us are trying to support that. But we've got to look at the left as well and see that this anti-Trump syndrome has gotten way out of control, and that these left-wing violent anarchist groups are spread throughout the entire United States, many of them on college campuses.
And this is way more than just anti-Trump. I mean, when you're colluding with ISIS,
well, that's what I mean.
That's as despicable as I can even imagine. Let's go to the second quote from the book here. We don't have it? Okay.
I have it right here.
We'll put it up right here, yeah. The Bureau has gotten actionable intelligence that there is within the federal government a growing and organized movement to block or interfere with administration policy decisions. Obviously, there is a huge anti-Trump movement in this country.
Well, you know, there's been this criticism that when Donald Trump and others talk about the deep state, that they're making this whole thing up. Well, the FBI has actually infiltrated the deep state. And there's a report in my new book about this. They've taken part in meetings, undercover, of course, in Washington, where members of the deep state, and these are rogue elements in the permanent bureaucracy, are trying to stop Trump's programs from being carried out in the Justice Department against sanctuary cities, in the IRS, and in other regulatory agencies.
Well, it sounds like a very interesting book, All Out War, The Plot to Destroy Trump.
It's definitely, eye-opening, that's for sure.
So much.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Great to be here.
Appreciate it.